Hey everyone, welcome to another On the Record. I'm Clay.
And I am Jason.
All right, and today we are here to chat with you a little bit about the Rolling Stones. Jay, tell me what record you've got here. Tell me a little bit about
I've got the latest Stones album here, Blue and Lonesome.
it. Yeah?
It's all blues covers, songs they dug out to cover for this album. I think actually while taking a break from recording a new studio album. I think they were almost at the halfway point and just decided to do that.
They took a break from recording an album to record an album.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Exactly.
Very interesting.
That's a good work ethic.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. But Eric Clapton's on here. It's some of these blues songs. You're going to know some cat out there is going to know them all or whatever. But the ones that jumped out to me were "All Your Love" and "I Can't Quit You, Baby." Led Zeppelin, I think, did "I Can't Quit You, Baby." Just the Stones, man. Just a super duper fan of the Stones.
So tell me what it is about the Stones that you dig as much as you do then.
Oh man, I love the guitar tone, the simplicity of the guitar. To me, it's like just going back to its bare basics.
Yeah.
You know, probably the early '70s is my favorite period. Right around the time he was switching over to tellies and all that. You know.
Yeah.
I always refer to it as like the velvet tone.
Yeah. Kind of, sort of synonymous with the Telecaster, which I know typically it's a blonde Telecaster. I'm not holding a blonde Telecaster, but, Keith Richards is like synonymous with the Telecaster, with the humbucker in the neck. That's kind of, an iconic guitar
Absolutely.
to associate with the Stones. If you're going to associate one, it would probably be that, and then maybe like, a 335 or something like that.
335, yeah, some sort of Gibson. Ronnie Wood, he played some Strats. Mick Taylor, I think he was basically a Les Paul SG exclusive guy, Brian Jones, he was all over the place,
So, like, amp-wise, what kind of amplifiers were the Rolling Stones using around
Amplifiers around that era, they were using Ampegs, which I don't think they make those Ampegs anymore. The ones like they were using.
I was so maybe not those specific, but I know they still do make Ampeg.
Yeah. Fender, they were switching over to Fender around that same time frame, I guess the late 60s or whatever. Some twin reverbs and super reverbs and whatnot.
Sweet.
And at that point, Keith, I think he basically became a Fender guy at that point,
I imagine there was, because, Squire's made these forever, Fender's made these forever. Sort of to do, like, say it without saying it, capitalize on the whole Keith Richards thing.
Absolutely.
'Cause it's sort of his baby was to throw, like, a Gibson humbucker or something in the neck.
That's 72, the Black Custom, I think, kind of put this type of configuration on the map, where everybody just associated that with Richards and his tone and whatnot. That's a super versatile setup. I've had
it really is.
before.
It really is. Even not, if you don't have a coil tap, and of course this one doesn't or anything, but like if you don't have a coil tap, I mean, it's still so versatile. Your 1, 2, and 3 options here on your pickup selector.
Oh yeah.
Give you a really wide spectrum to work with,
And being able to blend them
Yeah.
is a great feature as well. I mean, you can take that guitar to the gig all day long.
So, tell me then, do you know of anybody? I know you said Clapton was on this album. Is there anybody else like noteworthy on the album?
To the best of my knowledge, I think Clapton may be the only special guest on this album.
Awesome.
It's been a while since I've spun this one. This one's been out maybe a little over a year now, maybe a couple years, I guess. I thought it was a cool thing to do too because their first album was basically all blues covers, and this one's all blues covers. If something happens and they're not able to release another studio album, they kind of bookended their career.
Yeah, so
with
it's sort of
blues covers
like
album.
come full circle, sort of back to basics.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
And I mean, it's just one of my favorite bands. I owe a lot to Dr. Don for that. I couldn't do this interview without mentioning him.
Oh, of course not. I don't think either one of us would be here without mentioning the great Dr. Don Bevins.
Absolutely.
If there's any way you can find archival things to listen to of his, please find it and please listen to it. And also let us know where we can hear it too.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I'm assuming, as good as an album as this is, it's probably not your favorite. I'm assuming like you've got a classic album that's probably your favorite, right?
Yeah, probably. I mean, anything. I even like the less popular ones from the 70s, but, Sticky Fingers, Exile, all that. But, I think there's great stuff on all their albums, Some may have suffered from having too many songs on them in the CD era, but there's still great stuff. They've maybe whittled those down some. Made a good 8 to 10 song album. Some of that stuff may have stood up with some of the 70s stuff, definitely musically.
I think if I had to pick a Stones album, like a Desert Island, I think I'd go with Some Girls, man.
Some Girls?
Love
Yeah.
that album. Love it.
That was that fine line of right when punk was huge and
Yeah.
all that. So you definitely got the punk influence in there and the disco influence as well.
Yeah, for
And I
sure.
think they stirred the pot just as well as any of the classic rock acts that stuck their toe in the disco pail.
Yeah, I mean, it was just probably a necessary evil. I'm sure record companies were just like, this disco thing's doing all the sales, all the radio play, all the,
Right on, yeah.
And so I'm sure that trickled down to every band getting pressured to do something.
All my favorites, I think they all delved into it somewhat.
Yeah, we talked about Kiss before. They did it
Kiss,
to a certain degree.
Yeah. The Dad did
Yeah.
it. Rod Stewart, of course, had the big disco hit. The Stones. So they all kind of stuck their toe in there a little bit.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's Jay. This is Clay. This has been the Rolling Stones. If there's an album that inspires you, or maybe a piece of gear you picked up because it was the closest thing you could do to get that sound, or anything like that, leave us a comment below. Make sure you check us out too on Facebook, of course, Mountain Music Exchange, YouTube at Mountain Music Exchange. Like and subscribe for more videos, and of course, mountainmusicexchange.com. Again, I'm Clay.
And I am Jay.
And this has been On the Record.
Thank you,
Thanks.
guys.